Okay. Actually, I want to kind of start out with sort of a basic question here, is because I know that I just watched you perform what looked to me like some kind of magic.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
if you come as like a total outsider to hypnosis, what exactly is this art, shall I say, for lack of a better word, that you perform? Like what?
Yeah. So to kind of explain what hypnosis is, it's bypassing the critical factor. Now, there's two parts of our mind. There's a conscious and unconscious. Our conscious mind is responsible for all logic, analysing things, math, languages, facts and figures, all dense information, and that tends to be the left side of the brain. Now, your unconscious mind, that does not mean you're unconscious like a zombie, but your unconscious mind is the part of the mind that's responsible for all your emotions, all your memories, body movements, secreting hormones, blood flow, breathing inside your body. So in hypnosis, we kind of distract this bit, the bit that think it's grown up, the conscious mind, and we work directly with your unconscious mind. And everyone's unconscious mind has about the emotional age of about a 5-year-old. That's why it's very easy to get people emotional with hypnosis, because kind of on some way they regress to about 5. Does that kind of answer your question a little bit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. What's your name, by the way? Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Alex.
Alex. Hey, how you doing, Alex? I'm Luke.
Wonderful. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm doing very good.
Okay. When did you first get into hypnosis, and how long have you been practicing for?
When I was a kid, in my teenage years, I was a very messed up kid. I had every problem imaginable. I was agoraphobic, I was obese, I was bullied at school, had no relationship with my parents, was suicidal, tried to kill myself a couple of times, I had asthma, nearly died from it. I was total train wreck. And nothing I ever did helped me. I went to counselling, therapy every week, and I was still miserable. I was still depressed. Nothing helped. And then I tried to kill myself twice when I was 16, 17, and it didn't work. And we used to have a newspaper called the News of the World in England, and this is back in the 90s, and they had an ad for an audio tape. This was before MP3 players or CDs. It was for a silly audio tape, and it was called Supreme Self-Confidence. And it promised that if I listened to it every day for 21 days, I'd have confidence. So I believed in it, because the guy who did it was called Paul McKenna, and he had a show on British TV, prime time, every Monday evening for 5 years. So I'm like, it's on TV, it must be real. So I waited for this silly little audio cassette for 3 weeks. I had to get my sister to write me a check because I didn't have a checkbook. It finally came, ripped it open, and just devoured it, listened to it religiously every day. 22 minutes side A, 22 minutes side B, and that silly little audio tape that was generic, it wasn't customized at all, changed my life. And I'm like, wow, if this silly generic audio tape can change my life, there must be something to this. So then I spent the rest of my life, next 17 years, traveling all around the world, learning from the best people I could how to do this really good.
Wow, that's amazing. So you say you traveled all around the world practicing this. So, like, where have you been? Who have you learned from? And who do you think changed you the most?
Gosh, so who changed me the most is me. It's always me. It's always you, whoever changes you. But we have influences along the way. But I'm originally from a little place called London, England. Anyone heard of London, England? A few of us, right? Live in New York and Canada. I've lived in Canada. I've even hypnotized people in Brazil, where I don't speak Portuguese, I don't speak Brazilian, but 93% of communication is non-verbal, so you can even hypnotize people that don't understand the language. And for me, I met a lot of hypnotherapists, because there's hypnotherapists and there's hypnotists. Now, generally, the hypnotist is what people think of the stage guy, you know, the guy that makes people bark like a cat or meow like a dog, and they think of the hypnotherapist as the person who just sits down and does therapy with you, or we call it boredom, when they just talk to you until eventually, after half an hour, you close your eyes. So I like to perform. I also like to help people as well, and I'm like, how can I combine both these things? So yeah, I traveled all around the world, and I found that in all my serious certification programs, if you ask somebody to hypnotize you, they'd be like, well, you need to come into my office and pay me this amount of money, and we need to do a pre-talk. That's where I explain what hypnosis is for 30 minutes before I do it, test you to make sure that you're hypnotizable. I'm like, to hell with that stuff. I want to do it in 3 minutes. So I would go to the street and do street hypnosis. in Times Square, in London's Leicester Square, near the Eaton Centre. And I'm like, I should be able to do this with people all the time when they're not paying me money, you know? So I just went into the street, because anyone can be great in a therapy room, but when people don't realise that they were going to be hypnotized, and you just get them in the street and you make them feel amazing and just show them how powerful their mind is, that's when you really start to learn, you know, what works and what doesn't work with people.
Anybody?
I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So you don't speak Portuguese, but you manage to hypnotize people
Yeah.
without using their language. Like, please talk me through how exactly that works.
Yeah, so they did a study, I want to say 1950s, 1960s. You can check this out online. I don't remember the exact study, but basically 93% of all communication is not the words that we use. Only 7% is the actual words that we use. 55% is body language. And I think 37% is the tone. And what I mean by tone is, around the world, people may not understand what you're saying, but they understand your tone. For example, if I say to my girlfriend, I really hate you, even though I'm saying I really hate her, the energy and the tone of it is she knows I don't. So the tone is I love her. And I might have someone I really don't like, and I might say, I really love you. But the tone and the energy, they get, well, even though I'm saying the right words, the tone is off here, and they'll get. So that's kind of what I mean with language. And universally, body language, for most Western cultures, and actually some South American cultures, is very, very similar. So sometimes I'd do hypnosis with people, and it was just completely non-verbal. I'd stop somebody, and I can't remember what I did at the time, because sometimes, to be honest, I just make stuff up, and it always works. I even tell my clients, oh, by the way, I just made all that stuff up. They're like, I know, but it worked. I'm like, cool. When I started to get really good at hypnosis, you have scripts, right? A script for every problem. So at 10 o'clock, I'd have my anxiety client. At 11 o'clock, I've had my smoker. At 12 o'clock, I'd have my weight loss client. At 1 o'clock, I'd have my pain control client. And I'd have different scripts for every person. And it became scriptnosis, just like reading a script, and nothing was personalized. And we're not machines, everyone's different. So I got rid of the script, and I just, whatever people gave me in the session, I would use somehow. I trust my own unconscious mind to conjure up what I needed to help people get to where they needed to. So yeah, as far as kind of hypnotizing people who didn't speak the language and stuff like that, it was a lot of body language, energy, playing around with their energy, building rapport with people unconsciously, getting them to follow things that I was doing, and then just going from there.
Amazing.
Thank you. It's kind of hard to explain, but hopefully that kind of explained it in a way.
It does.
Cool.
It does. Anyone else?
Do you have a favorite type of person to hypnotize, like the weight loss versus the pain versus...
Yeah, smokers are really easy. Like, pretty much my success rate with smokers now is 100%.
Really?
And it's 100% based on following up for 2 years after the session. The only reason it's 100% is any client I have, I don't just say, come in, give me your money. I screen them on the phone for at least 30 minutes to an hour for free before they come in. And I always tell people, if I think I can work with you, I'm going to give you an opportunity to work with me at the end of today's screening. But also, please understand, if I don't think I can help you, or I don't think this is going to be good or an advantageous relationship, I'm also going to be very honest. I'm going to tell you that as well. So my goal a lot of times is to screen people out, because a lot of people I initially meet are not ready. For example, a wife wants her husband to quit smoking. She calls me up. She emails me. She researches my website. Question. Can't ever get the husband on the telephone. Finally, when I get the husband on the telephone, he doesn't really want to quit. He just wants to placate his wife. He even wants to pay me money to come and see me so he can leave and say, you know what? I even tried that hypnosis. And gosh darn it, even that didn't work. I guess I'm going to have to smoke for the rest of my life. Because he had no intent to actually quit smoking. So I screen people out like that immediately, because I don't just want to take people's money if they're not ready. I want people to leave my office transformed. And I get people to understand that they're going to have to work when they come and see me. There's a lot of work they're going to have to do inside their head. It's very quick compared to anything else they could do therapeutically, but they are going to have to do some work inside their ears. Sorry, you asked me. Sometimes I go off on tangent. Favorite type of client? Smokers is really easy. I like pain control because oftentimes I'll get people with chronic pain. They've had all kinds of meds and nothing's worked. And we do something like we did with you, and it's all in the mind, and they feel the shift. Like, what the hell just happened? I was just playing games inside my head, and my pain disappeared or radically reduced. I like to do that. Or anxious clients that come in that have got social anxiety. I have soldiers, emergency workers who have PTSD, have seen terrible things. And they don't want to go to a therapist and explain every horror they've seen in life. So we can do hypnosis with them, which is content-free. Well, I don't even need to know what the specific horror is, but we do work. They make the shifts inside their head, and they get the changes that they want.
What's the hardest client to work with?
Someone who's not ready, someone who doesn't want to stop their behavior. Somebody who thinks that I am a magician, that I am God, that I'm a Svengali, that I can do hocus pocus like Harry Potter and make all their problems go away while they just lay back and do nothing. Those are the people. I always tell people, I used to always be about my ego, but it always used to be about my power, what I can make you do. Then I realized that completely disempowers people. So now I'm like, I'm a hypnotist, but I give you complete power to hypnotize yourself. I'm just going to guide you what to do inside your own head, but you're doing it because I can't really get inside your head. So people who don't really want to change, who don't want to put in the work in between their ears, that's the kind of people I don't like to work with, and I screen them out now. So I hardly ever see those people.
Awesome.
Where do you work at?
I have 2 offices. I have one in Ottawa, and I have one. I've just moved to Toronto 4 or 5 months ago. My Toronto office is Dovercourt. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very good. Any more questions, folks?
Any more? No? Wrap
You
it up.
fascinated me this evening. I'm going to tell all my friends.
What shows? We have it on camera for you. Awesome. Okay.
Oh, did you film it?
Partially, there's bits on this
Okay.
one, but then it was
whole thing.
Erica filmed it,
Oh, lovely.
so we'll send you what we got.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Great.
All right, Alex, wrap it up.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here today and showing us what you could do and talking to us. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
That's all,
Awesome. Thank you so
folks.
much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if you want to find out more about me, guys, my website is